That's why successful people move out of these areas where you have people who are, as far as I'm concerned, acting in degenerate manner. You robbing, you stealing. Your second, you always looking for an opportunity to prey on somebody else. Breaking in cars, selling drugs to your own people. Robbing, stealing. You can't have anything around people like that. You can't even have peace of mind. You always worried about somebody running up in your house, hurting your family. If you have daughters, you can't have them around these bunch of low-life, degenerate Pooky and RayRay types. All they're gonna do is turn those women out. Your daughters will be turned out, and she'll be another statistic. The problem that we have in the black community is we don't separate ourselves from the degenerates. We don't separate the upper class, the people, and it's not even about money. The people who have class and dignity are forced to hang out with the lowlife. Otherwise, you consider not down. You can't come to the cookout. Man, F the cookout.
Tell them we back, we working. Uncle D here, we working. On them tracks, I'm murking. Guess we black on purpose. Close my eyes, I'm purple. Never go white, no Urkel. Only real ones in my circle. Every info, fuck Herschel. Similac boy might burp you. Shit in your pamper, you smurf you. Bitch ass nigga need a curfew. Watch these lanes, they'll murk you. Ain't no homie won't jerk you. O's out here, they'll surf you. Listen that right off Kirkwood. Big bass, yes, my work good. Big thing poppin' no Lizzo. Blizzy King shit, yeah, Blizzo. Terrorist kid shit, hizzo. Toss for a bitch, let the kids go. Used to be fine where the hips go. Zoo time, now she a hippo. 60 years old, now she wanna get a shit pro.
Was that if you're over 38 and you haven't married or something like that, that you're no good and disposable? To me, it was a shock jock. And, you know, I hope this is teaching folks a lesson about the karma. So, you know, the fact that he killed over real quick and was supposedly with a woman that we don't yet know the nationality.
Shut up, Vivica Fox. Who gives a shit what you give, Vivica Fox? You can't keep a man.
Many months later.
What are you looking for at this stage, this point?
A partner.
Yeah.
And when I say a partner, I want someone that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That's not intimidated by who and what I am.
Yeah.
That likes to travel.
Yeah.
Going to let me go shopping.
Yeah.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up!
Strutting out here, no sprinkles. Kids in the car, need a tinkle. Looking for a man full of wrinkles. She wanna touch them ankles. Remember that body was sizzle. Niggas used to pay for the bizzle. Now we don't lock no hizzo. It's a route out here, drizzle. It's cold outside, it's a blizzard, it's a blizzard. Don't go outside, they may get you, they may get you. You know black women, they go missing. A hard head mixer so ass you won't listen. It's cold outside, it's a blizzard, it's a blizzard. Don't go outside, they may get you, they may get you. You know black women, they go missing. A hard head mixer so ass when you don't listen.
What do you think is going to happen when they start incarcerating black women? Those who didn't get caught up in that hood rat behavior. You a good girl, and you hanging out with these hood rats. You a decent woman, and you feel that in order to fit in, you got to do all this extroverted sexual behavior just to try to fit in with these grimy, low-life scallywags out here. That's not you.
Zaddy out here, he ain't playing no games. Got a fatty out here, got a basement full of change. Want the biracial kids, the house and the supper room. Next year, he'll be sending your ass to the upper room. Keisha, oh no, is it cheaper? Just let her go, get your visa. Hit the road, you don't know. They got dimes everywhere. Close your eyes and pick a hole. Blizzy King back, we working. Uncle D here, we working. On them tracks, I'm murking. Guess we black on purpose. Close my eyes, I'm purple. Never go white, no Urkel. Only real ones in my circle. Every impulse, fuck Herschel. Similac boy might burp you. Shit in your pamper, you smurf you. Bitch ass nigga need a curfew. Watch these lanes, they'll murk you. Ain't no homie won't jerk you. Hoes out here, they'll surf you. Listen that right off Kirkwood. Big bag, yes, my work good.
That ass though.
Welcome back. Like the seats of an 86 Delta 88 coupe on D's and bones, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Going live in a minute, Blizzard King. This is Winter, Dennis Spurling podcast. You are rocking with the realest black men represented. Ain't no lies, cause we winning. Catching flies, ain't no feelings. Uncle D, we the villain, baby. We just left the village, baby. Now we in them villas, baby. Dennis Spurling podcast, tuning in, we get it, baby. You can hate the player, hate the game. We love all you haters. Hate watch. Calling lovely ladies, hands hands on your knees. You can thank us later. We snatching the crowns off of queens. We obliterate them. Tell the truth, shame the devil. They trying to eliminate us. You begging the sipping haters. Peeling layers off potatoes. Whoa. Southern Cadillac music like Outkast. Ain't jumping without bass. Dennis Spurling podcast. Whoa. Southern Cadillac music like Outkast. Ain't jumping without bass. Dennis Spurling podcast. Whoa.
We have to clean up what's going on in our house before we do anything else. What up, everybody? Welcome to the broadcast, baby. Somebody hit the number 1 button, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Y'all know what time it is. It's Uncle D. And came inside. I had to get out the backyard, man. And shout out to everybody who's in here. My man 43TX. Big shout out to you, Guillermo Williams, Urban Eagle, Mark the Freelancer. Big shout out to you guys, man. Good to see the fellas in here. I see we got a couple of ladies in here. Shout out to all the righteous ladies, man. I'm not here to talk bad about black women. I have a problem with hood rats posing as black women, just like I have a problem with no good degenerates posing as black men, making us all look bad. You know, they like to hide amongst us. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to everybody up in here. We can't let them hide amongst us anymore. Shout out to everybody who's contributed to the Cash App. You know, sometimes some subjects come up and they are so serious that it requires me to actually get to a point where I have little to zero distractions. And although I like speaking from my backyard, I enjoy that. Sometimes I need to come in here and handle my business and make sure that I get my point across so that everybody understands it. Because, you know, the thing that I've realized is that a lot of people listen to my broadcast. They appreciate what I do. They appreciate my reputation. On top of that, I'm a real world person. You know, I mean, I made my bones in the real world, and I'm not just a YouTube celebrity. See, I'm not just somebody who popped up on YouTube and got popular. I'm actually somebody who, in the real world, as opposed to the virtual world, has a lot of influence and say so. And I have the credentials to go along with that. So the topic for today, fellas, shout out to you guys. Everybody, you know what we're going to do. Before we get started good, let's get a formal introduction, okay? Let's get a formal introduction. I want you all to check in, okay? I want you to let me know where you checking in from. Go ahead and check in. Let's go ahead and get the check-in started. I want y'all to start representing where you from, baby. Let me know. We'll be right back. Y'all check in. Let me know where you checking in from. I'll be right back. There you go.
I like that clap. Woo! Not bad to be light skin, huh?
All right. So let's see who we got up in here, man. Shout out to everybody from Anchorage, Alaska. Wow. Philly's in the house. Chicago, Illinois.
Montreal, Canada, Mile High City, Denver, baby, Kansas City Metro. Big shout out to everybody. Make sure you check in, man. Let me know where you're checking in from. I'd like to hear where you're checking in from. So anyway, the topic for this broadcast is one that was inspired by a person who's a subscriber, a follower, a YouTube person who subscriber who knows me from YouTube, and he, like many of us, are subject to these negative stereotypes. Now that's something that I think all black men. Shout out to Joe Hen. Big shout out to you. Got a brand new subscriber in here. And oh yeah, speaking of which, if you haven't subscribed, you guys want to know what happened to all that content. I had all those Black Manosphere classics. All of that is now in my membership only paywall. So go ahead and become a member. Go ahead and subscribe to the membership, man. If you want to see all that other stuff, being the man about town, how to move when you're overseas, these sort of things, being a good father, all of that stuff, you're gonna have to, if you want it, you're gonna have to get to it behind that membership, baby. You're gonna have to kick in, baby. Somebody type kick in the chat room. Somebody type kick in. Hallelujah. Amen, amen. Somebody type pay what you owe in the chat room, baby, because y'all been y'all like me in the backyard. Y'all do like me in the backyard, but apparently when I'm in the backyard, y'all don't pay for these. I don't get no super chats. So I'm talking about not that I need your money, but it's the way in which you show your appreciation. So now I'm sitting here at this boring desk. Shout out to my man, Beautiful Lies. Oh, my man, what's that? Hey, man, big shout out to you for coming through on my birthday, man. He came through, man, and we had a good time. They were passing, they're on their way to Brazil, and they stopped in Houston. So big shout out to you fellas, man. Shout out to you guys. Matter of fact, I got a special tribute for you, man. It's going to come up in a minute. It commemorates that day. We were all celebrating our birthday, the 16th, the 17th, and the 8th. Well, actually, the 17th, the 18th, and the 19th of April. So that's what's up, man. Appreciate you, man. But anyway, yeah, so black men pushing back against these lies, man. We fighting against these lions. Row. Somebody say row in the chat room. And that's just what these lies are like. These lies are trying to tear us up, man. They are trying to light us up with these lies, man. And so, you know, today what I want to do is I want to discuss an important and often misunderstood topic. And it relates to the crime statistic. And it has great implications for black men in our society. It's been a pervasive, damaging narrative, and it needs to be addressed. And it's one that lumps law-abiding black men with those who commit crimes. And specifically, the blanket statement that 12% of the population commits 51.3% of the 187. Somebody type 187 in the chat room. Somebody type 187 in the chat room. You know what that means? That's the California Penal Code for unaliving a person, all right? When the police respond to an unalivement, okay, then they call it 187. So shout out to everybody from Cali who understood what that means. It's 187, all right? Unalive means 187, okay? So hold on a minute. Let me get a sip of my good old-fashioned jelly jar. Ain't no jelly jars outside either. Ain't no jelly jars in the backyard. It's just hot as hell. You hear me? I live in the great state of Texas, and somebody told me who is from Africa that Texas is hotter than Africa, and I would have to believe them, especially this part of Texas. So today we're going to talk about this blanket statement that 12.2% of the population, i.e. that is the total number of black people in America, we compose 12.2% of the population. They say we commit 51% of the unalivements, of the 187s. And it's not only a misleading statement, but it's also harmful. And it's important for Black men to begin to fight against that particular lie. So this is going to be a very serious topic. Okay. And the thing is, one of the things that you'll notice on YouTube, there's different sections and associations in Black YouTube, especially, that develop based on what our ideals are. And my fundamental ideal, the fundamental thing that I'm most concerned with as far as Black men, is our reputation. You see, that is, in essence, really the only thing I'm concerned about is our reputation, and making sure I do my part to protect our reputation. Because, see, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're a doctor or a dope dealer. You see what I mean? You could be doing something or doing nothing. As far as the police and greater society is concerned, you're guilty. And a lot of that has to do with our reputation. So it's incumbent upon all of us as Black men to protect our reputation. So, it's important that we push back on this lie. Y'all hit the #1 button and make sure, if you hear something that tickles your ears, if you hear something that that educates you, something that you hadn't quite thought of before, make sure you show your appreciation by hitting that Cash App. That's what you do. And then I will definitely read your comments as they come along. Now, it's crucial for us to push back against this lie. And the lie, specific one, there's so many, right? There's so many. Okay, somebody type 187. There's so many lies. Okay, but this one, #1, is one of the most egregious, because it tells everyone, not only are we, or signifies to the rest of society, not only are we violent, okay, but it affects our social standing. Somebody type social standing in the chat room. Somebody type reputation is everything in the chat room. You see? And and the reason I say that is because a group's reputation weighs heavily on their societal standing. And it affects everything from employment opportunities to even social interactions. The reason that people fear Black men is not necessarily because they have anything to fear, but because they perceive that they have something to fear. See, fear, or should I say, reputation, is everything, and perception is everything. And so when a society unfairly associates Black men with a violent crime like 187s, okay, it perpetuates a harmful stereotype that will lead to discrimination and also prejudice. And we deal with that, don't we? You see? Don't we deal with that? Can I get an amen in the chat room for the brothers who agree that we deal with discrimination and prejudice? And I'm not talking about, hooded men, not these days, riding around your house on horseback, shooting you shotguns, telling you to get out of town. But you can feel it. You can feel it. You can see it, these microaggressions, as they call them. And, it can manifest in various forms, including racial profiling, because the cops are scared of you because you have the reputation of committing 187s. And, they feel if you're a 187 your own people, you're a 187 then. And I'm not saying what they're doing is justified, but fear make you do a lot. And of course, there's a little bigotry associated with that. But again, all of that comes from fear also. Okay, the other thing is, just as we talk about the justice system, harsher sentencing in criminal justice. The stats support the fact that Black men suffer from harsher sentences sometimes for the same crimes. And so if they know or feel as though you're the type of person that will commit 187, of course, this is the worst of the worst. So of course they're gonna lock you in. You see, and these stereotypes, they also negatively affect us as far as, or they negatively impact our socioeconomic opportunities, whether it be they prejudice in the eyes of potential employers, educators, right? You didn't get the job, even though you were as educated, because they perceive you as being aggressive. You brothers have dealt with that, haven't you? Tell the truth, right? Educators, okay? We got educators out there. Those teachers always somehow diagnose black boys as being aggressive or having issues learning. You see what I'm saying? Oftentimes because of these stereotypes and being, men who, are known for being the 187ers in the society, that doesn't help. Okay? You got the policymakers who buy into these misleading statistics. They consciously and oftentimes unconsciously discriminate against black men. And it limits our access to jobs, education, and resources that are necessary for upward mobility. And so by us taking it upon ourselves to defend ourselves, okay, somebody type self-defense in the chat room. Somebody type self-defense is a must in the chat room, right? Come on now. I want y'all to be in here with me. Let me know. By us defending ourselves against these false narratives, black men can help dismantle these barriers and promote a more equitable society, not just for ourselves, but for our children. Now, one of the most egregious or misleading statistics and misconceptions is that we commit the most 187s. Now, the first thing you need to understand, okay, it's essential to understand that 12.2% of the population, when I say that, and I know it fluctuates, but for the purposes of this conversation, some say 12.2, some say 12, some say 13. But for the purposes of this conversation, we're going to use the 12.2 population, and that refers to black people in the United States. So of the 300 plus million black people in the United States, people in the United States of all ethnicities, black people compose 12.2% of the population. And that totals to about 45 million. Somebody type 45 million in the chat room. Somebody type 45 million in the chat room. Come on, I need to know you all are there. Type 45 million in the chat room. Okay, now this statistic, it doesn't imply that every person involved in criminal activity, okay, is somehow, we're not saying that. Okay, what we're saying is, and what I'm trying to point out and what I will point out is that the vast majority of black people are law-abiding citizens and they're contributing to the society positively. Now, here's something that we have to deal with, fellas. I want you to hear me, okay? 45 million black people, we've established that. Most crime is committed by the poor. Oh, no, he didn't. Yes, I did. Most crime, and I'm talking about violent crime, is committed by poor people. Now, I know this is a complex and often debated issue, but, the research has shown that there's a correlation between poverty and crime. Economic hardship leads to circumstances where people may resort to crime out of necessity or due to lack of hope or lack of opportunities. When the Irish first came to the United States and they came to New York, they committed a lot of crime. When the Italians came to New York and the East Coast, they committed a lot of crime, okay? And as they worked their way up, they became less criminal-minded, okay? So it's not a white or black thing. It's not an Asian thing. It's not a race thing. It's not a religious thing. It's just a poverty thing, okay? So let's accept that. Now, data from the various sources like the FBI in the United States, it shows that there's a higher crime rate in economically disadvantaged areas. which means you're going to have more crime in Compton than you will Beverly Hills, at least violent crime. You're going to have more crime in Harlem than you will uptown in Manhattan, at least violent crime, okay? Because we're not talking about white-collar crime. We're talking about hit you upside the head crime. Somebody type, oops, upside the head in the chat room. Somebody type, oops, upside the head in the chat room. That's the sort of crime that we're talking about, okay? Again, wealthier individuals, whatever their ethnicity, they might be involved in crime, but it's probably white-collar crime, okay? But it's less likely to be classified as violent. Now, here's the thing I want you to understand. Pay attention to this. Of that 45 million black people, listen, this is important, okay? Listen to me, okay? And I'm not saying middle-class people or rich people don't commit violent crime. What I'm saying is there's a correlation between poverty and crime, okay? Now, the question you should be asking yourself, well, damn, Uncle D, how many black people are in poverty? Well, I have that answer for you. It's approximately 17.1%. Now, think about that. Now, just fool with these numbers for a minute. I'm going to go off on a tangent. I want you to understand something. Only 17.1% of black people live below poverty. All right? So let's flip the script. What does that mean? That means 82.9% of black people are either middle class, upper middle class, living above the poverty line, working poor. Okay, well, they could be working, they're working class, or they're rich. Just look at that. That's 82.9% of us are on our way up. You understand? That's what I want you to think about. But for the purposes of this conversation, we're going to deal with those who live below the poverty line. Out of 45 million people, if you do the numbers and you figure out what 17.1% of that's only 7,695,000 people. So out of the 45 million black people in America, only 7,695,000 of those people live below the poverty line. Okay? That's not bad. That's a big difference in 2024 than what it was straight out of slavery, straight out of Jim Crow in the 1960s. Okay? So what does that mean though? Let's add that up. Because see, remember, the whole premise that we're starting with is they like to say that 12% of the population commits nearly 50 or over 51.3% of the 187s. But the truth is, it's only 17.1% of black people that are more likely to do it. And that's only because they're poor. But see, I'm gonna reduce that. Now, what does that number come to? If you figure out what 7,695,000 people are as to the total population of America, it's not 12%. It's only the poor blacks that do that. Rich black men ain't out there hitting people upside the head and 187 them. It comes to 1.5%. So yeah, what I'm telling you all is 1.15% of Americans who are black are the ones committing 51% or potentially committing 51.3% of the murders. And I want y'all to digest that for a minute. Because they always like to lump us in the same category. They want to lump the 45 million black people in the category and include this 7,695,000 people who are below the poverty line, who are more likely to commit 187. And it ain't all of us. Okay? So let's go ahead and break that down. And I need y'all to catch up with me, man. Somebody type catch up in the chat room. Come on now. Somebody type catch up in the chat room. I want you to understand this clearly, because this is going to be one of those water cooler conversations. This is going to be one of those conversations where you say, well, we're gonna when the politicians come around saying, well, we're gonna do prison reform for black people. We're going to the criminal justice system. This is what I want you to. Let's look at that in reality. Now, here's the other thing. Okay, we can also agree that more 187s are committed by men as opposed to women. Now, I know they might be catching up a little bit, but for the most part, it is men that commit these 187s. All right, not little kids and not women. It's men that do it, black men, and this is what we talk about. So if we move forward and we proceed with this assumption that 187 is predominantly a crime committed by men, then what we have to do is halve the number of black people living in poverty, which we know to be 7,695,000 to 3,847,500. You see what I'm saying? So this is actually the number of black men living in poverty. Out of 22 million black men, only 3,847,500 are living in poverty. We doing damn good. Because if you really think about that, man, shout out to Ivy Dreams. Big shout out to you. Thank you so much. I see your comments. You're very kind in your comment section, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. This is the number of black men who live in poverty in the United States. I'm gonna put this number up because it's important. Okay, all right. That's an important number. All right. This is the number of black men living in poverty in the United States. That's it. All right. I want you to understand that. That's not a lot. Okay. And so it's this group of men. Okay. It's that group of men, and not all of them are men. We're going to deal with that in a minute. All right. But I want to explain also that it is statistically supported that men are more likely to commit violent crimes, including 187s, as compared to women. And this pattern holds true across various groups. And so by simply having the number, which was 7,695,000, we get this number 3,847,500. This is the number of black men living in poverty. Ladies, and let me just take a point of personal privilege here. If you got 22 million black men, and out of this 22 million black men, you managed to find a black man that's living in poverty, you had to go out of your way to get that. You see? Because there's too many other black men out here being successful and making money and doing great things for you to only be able to find that. So you basically attracted to that. So you need to reevaluate your sights. Now, here's the other thing I need to understand and why this is important. Based on a study that came out or a news article that's and everything I'm talking about, I put it in the description section of this video, so feel free to check that out. But there's a new report on homicide. Oh my God, YouTube is going to demonetize this thing. So, but anyway, and I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody who's contributing to the super chat and the Cash App in a minute. Just let me roll through this. I want to talk about this new report about 187 trends in the U.S. And it reveals that there is a persistent impact of 187s in the black community. All right, and they had this council on criminal justice, and they recently released the trends in 187's report. And you know, when I say 187, I mean the word that rhymes with insecticides, but it also starts with HOM, okay? But what they did was they closely analyzed the data from over 50 years, and it shows that black men have the highest rate of 187 victimization since the 1960s. with the rate fluctuating significantly over the decades. In the 1960s, the 187 rate for Black men was 42 per 100,000, and increasing to 78 per 100,000 by the 1970s. And from the 1980s to the 1990s, it hovered around 54 per 100,000 before declining to around 35 Black men per 100,000 in 2000 and to 2019. And in 2021, the rate went back up to 54. Okay, so in 2021, we had an increase in 187s. And that probably had a lot to do with the COVID-19 situation, people under a lot of stress. I could see that. But comparing the 187 rate for white males, it's never gone past 8.4 per 100,000 since the 1960s. And so that's what we need to understand, okay? Now, since 2020, more than 3/4 of all of the 187s have been committed by firearms. And, so we need to understand what's going on and why. And if it wasn't firearms, it'd be knives. You understand me? So I don't want to get any political thing. But let's go and pour over these important numbers. I want to talk about this, okay? Because see, now it's about to get real funky. Somebody type funky in the chat room. And the thing is, if you're gonna type funky, you got to know how to spell funky. All right, praise Moses. If you can't spell funky the right way, then you don't need to be doing it at all. But we're about to get real funky in here. So the U.S. population is 334 million. Okay, the Black population composes anywhere from 12 to 12.2 to 13%. So that's about 45 million. Okay. The number of Black people that live below the poverty line, that's about 17% of 45.4 million. So that's about 7,695,000 people. And then if you want to know who it is amongst the Black people who commit most of the 187s, well, that's probably Black men. And so you're looking at 3,847,000 Black men. And so that's 1.1% of the population. Not a lot. Now, here's the crazy part. You think it's kids out there doing 187s? No, it's not kids out there doing 187. Do you think it's old men out there doing 187s? No, it's not. So we have to remove the elderly and the children from that 1.15 calculation. Okay, and what are we trying to do here? We're trying to explain that it's only 1% of the people in America who are Black that are committing these 187s. It's not 12%, it's not all of us. It's just amongst us, there is a virulent 1% of the population that's out there, unaliving people. You see, and that calculation, even the one that I gave you, it doesn't take out the children and the elderly population. And there's a significant portion of Black population who are in poverty that consists of children and elderly. And, if we estimate the children under the age of 18 and the elderly over the age of 65 make up 40% of the population in poverty, and of course, that's a rough estimate based on general demographic distributions. But what this does is it reduces the number of potentially of adults who are potentially or people who are potentially involved in this 187. So now if we started at the 7,690,000, I know I'm talking a lot of numbers, but just roll with me on this, baby. It's important. Okay, it's important. Somebody type catch up in the chat room. If we got 7.6 million Black people in poverty, and you remove the 40% of them who are women, who are children and elderly, what that does is, it leaves you with only 4.6 million. That's only 4,617,000 4,617,000 black people in poverty. So reduce that in half, and that's going to give you the men who are in poverty. And what does that number end up? Somebody type the Pooky and RayRay class. Somebody type the Pooky and RayRay class of the black male community is only 2,308,500. That's it. That's how many poor black men we have in black America living below the poverty line. And from this class of men, this is where all the murders, for the most part, the vast majority of the 187s are coming from. This is the Pooky and RayRay class right here. That's it. Now, if you compare that number to the total population, it's only 0.69%. So 0.69% of the American population is committing 51% of the 187s. 51.3%. Those are, it's 50. This is it. That group right there. Some of y'all said we should just round them up. Can we just round that group up, and the 187 rate will drop by 51.3%. So out of 22,700,000, by the 22,700,000 black men that live in the United States, only 2,304,000 black men, the ones that live below the poverty line in the US, which represents only about 10% of the black male population. So that means only about 10% of black men living below the poverty line. That's 1 out of 10. And this 1 out of 10, that one dude out of 10 is likely to commit a 187. Think about that. Think about that. Okay? And here's the cold part about it. Shout out to my brothers who are struggling. Shout out to my brothers who are coming up. Are you a law-abiding citizen? I'm not talking about you. Okay? Because some of you men who are living below the poverty line, some of you all who compose, and I shouldn't call it the Pooky and RayRay class, but there's some Pooky and RayRays in there. Some of you all who are living below the poverty line, a large percentage of you all are hardworking individuals, and you facing some financial challenges, or you just students. You just college students, or you're in trade school, and you're striving for a better life. So we have to reduce that 2,304,600 black men who living below the poverty line to men who are actually gonna come up. That's only 1 out of 10, brothers. And it's really a relatively small percentage of these. So it's a relatively small percent of that 2.3 million black men who are out there committing 187s and other violent crimes. And what this does is it highlights the importance of not generalizing or misrepresenting black men based on the actions of a few, because the majority of us are contributing positively to society despite what we had to overcome. Okay? Now I'm gonna bring this all home for you guys, because see, it doesn't make sense. Only 1 out of 10 black men live below the poverty line. So if you still ghetto and you poor and you living in the hood, bro, it's you by yourself. It's more of us than it is of you. The positive trends dictate that it's more of us doing well than doing bad. Far more. If 90% of your group is out here making money and making moves and doing well for themselves, the hood don't run no more. The streets don't rule the black community anymore. That's what I need y'all to understand. This is not the 1960s, where over 60% of us lived in poverty. This is 2024, where only 1 out of 10 black men live in poverty. So what's your excuse? Somebody type excuses are tools of the incompetent. Come on, talk to me. Somebody knows where I'm gonna go with that. Somebody type excuses in the chat room. Somebody type excuses in the chat room. Why are you not hustling? Because see, if you dig yourself out of poverty, brother, and again, we talking about 1 black man out of 10, 1 able-bodied black man out of 10. We excluded the old man out over the age of 65, and we excluded the children under the age of 18. We talking about able-bodied black men who are still living in poverty. Now, I'm not accounting for the black men who are handicapped, but at the end of the day, if you're handicapped here in the United States, you probably getting a check. Somebody type my check in the chat room. Come on, somebody type the 1st and the 15th in the chat room. Somebody type SSI and disability in the chat room. Praise God. Hallelujah. Somebody type my check in the chat room. You know you're getting a check. Okay? So, but this poverty pimping that all these people are doing, it doesn't matter anymore. People like Al Sharpton, they're out of date. We are not a poor group of people. We are the richest Africans on the planet right here in the United States. We make more money than any other group of Africans that have ever existed on this planet. We are doing well. Okay? And there are some positive trends that we need to deal about. So there's no reason that we as black men should not be pushing back against these tropes, especially one telling us that the 12% of the black population, this is when they talk about all black people. 12% of the population commits over 51% of the 187s. No, it is a small percentage of black men who are living below the poverty line to the tune of no more than 6.9% who have the capacity or the will, who are often out there committing these 187s. And even amongst that 2.3 million black men, there's only many of them are hardworking. They might be students. Some of them may be disabled, but it's only a small percentage of these knuckleheads out here committing these 187s. You understand? And the fact that 900,000 of them are locked up, and this is the stats, about 800,000 to 900,000 black men are locked up. That in itself is less than 0.5%. Actually, that's a very tiny percentage of black men. That's like less than 5% less than 1% of black. Is it less than 1%? Less than 5% of black men are even in prison. So if you end up with a jailbird, and I'm talking to you good girls, you can't say there's no good men out there. It's hard to find a jailbird. You got a lot of recidivists, you see. I'm just saying, ladies, you choose these men because it's not there for you. But to get back to some of these positive trends, how are the black middle class is typically divided into lower middle class, core middle class, upper middle class. And then you have lower middle class is concentrated in sales, clerical positions, and blue collar occupations. The upper middle class is oftentimes highly educated professionals like doctors, lawyers, engineers, stockbrokers, and these sort of things. Those sort of folk, you see? Now, the middle class, more than half of black men, this is a statistic, more than half of black men, and that's 57%, have made it to the middle class or higher as adults today. And this is an increase from 38% in the 1960s. So what does that tell you? We are doing well as a people. And this is black men. So all this poverty pimping that they got you falling over, it's just not true. And this progress, it demonstrates the impact of education, employment opportunities, and other social factors, mobility especially. Upper mobility is going down in the black community. We're doing great. Black adults, we've maintained this 47% at least since 1971. So fresh out of Jim Crow, we quickly jumped about 9% to the black middle as far as our black middle class is concerned. But you have a lot of black people who are doing well. Here's some more statistics, and I want you to understand something. There was a 2010 census that said black households had a median income of $32,000. Okay? And over 59% of black households make $25,000. So you know, I can go over the statistics, but that's unnecessary. How are we doing this? All right, and there's several factors to the success. And I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody who contributed to the super chats and the cash apps in a minute. I see you, my man, International Quiet Storm. And if you all have heard something that has made you happy, if you've heard something that's enlightened you, if you've heard something that's motivated you and inspired you, make sure you show your appreciation for me teaching you something by contributing to the super chat. That's all you got to do, baby. You see what I mean? That's what I need you to do. And make sure you subscribe to the channel too. We only about 400 people away from 70,000. And you know, I'll at some point in the near future, I'll give y'all an update on the lawsuit against your favorite social media platform that I've filed for taking y'all's money. But anyway, several factors have contributed to Black men reaching the middle class or higher. Number one on my list, military service. I said it. Shout out to the United States Marine Corps. Both of my brothers are Marines. My granddaddy was a Marine. My uncle was a Marine. Shout out to the United States Marine Corps. Shout out to the U.S. Army. My cousin was my cousin rested, and so he was in the Army. My other uncle, he was in the Army. Other one was in the Army and then went to the Marine Corps. Shout out to the 101st Airborne. He did a tour of duty in Vietnam. Shout out to all the veterans. Shout out to the United States Navy. My other cousin went to the Navy. I remember going to the Long Beach shipyards in Southern California after he enlisted, and he showed me where he was going to be. And I was like, wow. So shout out to the United States Navy. Shout out to the Air Force. Shout out to the Black men in the Air Force. Well, shout out to all of the military service and military branches, but specific shout out to all the brothers over there serving overseas. Okay. Shout out to the shout out to the Army Reserves, man. Shout out to you guys. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Coast Guard. Big shout out to you guys. And I know you all tease each other amongst the different branches, but you know, I appreciate your service. And as far as military service, it is shown to significantly have boosted the chances of Black men reaching the middle class. Okay. In fact, they did a report by the Institute for Family Studies, and the American Institute said 54% of Black men who served in the military were in the middle class by their 50s, compared to 45% of those who did not serve. So if you join the military, it's more likely than you got a better chance of reaching the middle class if you join the military, compared to 45% if you don't. It's a bit of a struggle, you see? In other words, what this stat is saying is 55% of Black men who don't join the military may not reach the middle class. But 50% of Black men, or 54% of Black men who do join the military may reach the middle class. I'm just saying, these are the stats. The links are in the description section. You can check it out for yourself. Here's another one. Somebody type Moses in the chat room. Somebody type hallelujah in the chat room. Somebody type hallelujah in the chat room. You know where I'm going. Okay? Somebody type hallelujah in the chat room. You know who else does well? Huh? Young Black men who attend religious services regularly more likely to achieve economic success. Dang, really? Really? Why is that? Well, let me just say, this same report highlighted that, or this same report found that 54% of those Black men who attended religious services were in the middle class by their 50s, compared to 43% who didn't. Now, what do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Somebody give me an answer as to why Black men who attend religious service on a regular basis have a higher chance of hitting the middle class by the time they turn my age. Why is that? Could it be the structure? Could it be the socialization? Could it be the moral attribute of going to church on a regular basis, the dedication it requires? Think about that, man. More discipline, morality. These are things that are attributes. These are things that allow you to become successful. And if you go on a religious, sometimes, man, that going to church will keep you stable. You know, you can't be out in the club to 3 o'clock in the morning popping bottles. You leaving the strip club at 4:50 in the morning. You're not going to be able to make that early service. Somebody type that morning service in the chat room. Somebody type Sunday morning service, that early service. Somebody type that early service in the chat room. Come on now. You ready to get up at 7 a.m. and be at the church by 8? Your aunt smelling like brown liquor and hot vagina juice all over your neck. Come on now. No, you going to sleep early. You're going to lay your suit under the bed, on the bed, so you can be up and early. That early service is something, ain't it? Especially when you got that good hangover from drinking that brown. So y'all ever had that hangover? And you hearing that in the church, the head is, and it hurt right there. It hurt right there, right up there. Yeah, you can't go to church like that, man. So those are two things that are helping Black men reach the middle class: military service, religious service, and here's another one, and I know this is a dirty word. I'm gonna say it: marriage. I know y'all, look, they put me out the manosphere for saying that. Remember when they put Uncle D out the manosphere last December, was it? They put me out the manosphere because I don't support the things that a lot of them, back in the day, we call red pill good game. You understand what I'm talking about? You can get some good game from your uncles, and if you had a lot of men around you, they would give you the game. You would sit out by the oak tree and they would tell you everything you need about these unlovely ladies, so that you can avoid them. But a lot of these young men grew up without strong men, father figures, uncles who were willing to speak the truth to them, okay? And so that's why this whole red pill, learning about female nature, is new to them, but it's nothing new to anybody, you see? It's just good game, all right? And fortunately for me, I grew up around a lot of men who told me exactly what I could expect. Now, if I had a hard head and I wanted to go out there and see for myself, well, that's my dumb ass. You understand me? Excuse the language. That's my dumb behind for going out there. And I did. I went out there and got knocked around, and I didn't listen, and I had to learn the hard way. You know, thank God for me that I have enough money and I have enough grace from the Most High that it didn't break me like it did a lot of people. But bottom line is, marriage is a significant factor in economic success, fellas. Okay? The report highlighted that 70% of married Black men were in the middle class compared to only 20% of never married men and 44% of divorced men. I want you to think about that. You ain't got to like what I'm saying. I don't care if you don't like what I'm saying. Uncle D don't give a hot damn if you like me or not. Y'all already know that. I don't give a damn what you think. Okay, you can listen to them people to tell out there. You can be sticking your man parts into a firecracker if you want to, and it'll blow up on you. Okay, if you want to. I'm not gonna have you out there like that. I want you to get married. I want you to go and find good, decent women to be with and reproduce. I want you to have a legacy. I want you to be normal. I don't want you to be some old ass man wearing outdated clothes in the club. Okay? At damn 3 years old. I don't want you to be like that, man. That's not cool. I'm not trying to see you like that. I love my children. The most important thing to me is my children. I don't know what I would be if I didn't have the beautiful feelings of and inspiration and memories that I have as a father. I love that. And if I could have done it within one marriage, well, Lord knows I'd have been happy to do that. Didn't work out for me, but you know what they say, try, and try again. Somebody type start a marriage in the chat room. Hallelujah. Somebody type start a marriage in the chat room. Everybody worth as anybody has had that start a marriage. So somebody type start a marriage in the chat room. Praise Moses. Go ahead. But that start a marriage, you understand? It happens and you learn, okay? Hopefully you get a prenup next time. Hopefully you get yourself a trust account, right? If you get rich. But the bottom line is the reports highlight that 70% of married black men hit the middle class compared to only 20% of black men, 20% of never married black men and 44% of, so that means getting married and staying married will help you stay out of the poorhouse. So let's recap, okay? And there's one more that's really important. So think about this. What are the economic engines that are driving financial success in the black community? Military service, religious attendance, and marriage. Damn, it's that simple. So all you fellas in the military, if you get in the military, once you get out, or if you can't go, you get into religious service and you get married and you stay married, more likely than not, you are going to be financially successful. That's what you need to understand, fam. And I know that's painful because to a lot of my red pill comrades out here, I know you don't want to hear all that, but that's the truth. Okay. Now, the other thing is, and this is a very important one, somebody type personal accountability. Okay. Personal accountability. The belief that you can influence your own life and your own outcomes through your own hard work, through your own endeavors. Okay. This same report showed that 52% of black men with a well-developed sense of personal accountability reach the middle class by the time they're 50, compared to only 44%. So in other words, fellas, somebody type victim mentality in the chat room. And this is what a lot of these Pooky and RayRays have. They have a victim mentality that they got oftentimes from the women that raised them. You see what I mean? I'm just saying that victim mentality allows you to escape from personal accountability. And so as long as you have that victim mentality, that's going against your well-being. Do y'all hear me? I want you to hear me now. This is serious business. That victim mentality. Okay? Keep that in mind. Y'all with me? Hit the number 1 button if you're with me, baby. So we started off talking. Okay, well, bottom line is we need to push back against these lying, misleading, harmful narratives about crime statistics in general. Okay? And we do this not only does it protect our reputation and our social standing, but it also promotes a more just and equitable society. And by understanding the broader context and addressing these issues, you know, what we can do is we work together and create a better understanding for black men. So we need to reject these oversimplified and inaccurate statistics and focus on creating a black society where everybody, regardless of race, or every society in general, where everybody, regardless of race, can survive and strive and thrive. Hallelujah. But what you got to understand, family, again, these oversimplified statistics, when they say stuff like 12% of the population commits over 51% of the 187s, you got to break those numbers down and say, no, what you're really talking about is a small percentage of black men who live in poverty, who are neither children or adults, but able-bodied black men who aren't students or in trade school. This is a small percentage of black men who are committing these 187s. It's not 12% of us. It's not half percent. It's a tiny percent. So the question is, why are you trying to box me in with them? What is your agenda? You see? Now, I'm gonna give you all the opportunity. If you learn something, we're gonna come back. I'm gonna have to try to scroll through this and give a shout out to everybody who contributed to the Super Chat, the Cash App, and the PayPal, and I'm going to do that. But what I want you guys to do is if you learned something, you picked up something, you appreciate what I'm doing here, make sure you take this opportunity to kick in. Somebody type kick in the chat room. Somebody type kick into the chat room. I got a new video for you guys, and you brothers should be saluted for your success. So I want you guys to say this. Shout out to black men. Salute to the black men. I always try to say that to you brothers, man. Black men are winning. Big shout out to y'all. Well, take this opportunity, if you learn something, to contribute to the Super Chat, to Cash App, and the PayPal. Go ahead and pay me for my time. I'll be right back.
The incarceration rate is down. The education rate is up. We up. We went from a group of men who were brought to this country in the hulls of slave ships. I know we got the pretendians out there that's saying that we still here, but the DNA test says otherwise, just like your baby mama. So, for my brothers who know their history and know where we came from and know what we've been through for hundreds of years, the fact that over 60% of black men have now reached the middle class your seed is the most important thing that you produce in this world. It's not the art that you produce. It's not the buildings that you create. It's not the amount of money you make. It's not the amount of people who like you. It is your legacy.
But since we don't live in our culture no more, we say what we want to say, do what we want to say. We tear our men down and then wonder why they don't make good husbands and fathers. Mothers destroy sons. His mother can speak to him in certain ways that destroy him in ways that can never be repaired.
Salute the black men.
Started with mama issues, afraid to question anything that was that bitch in you. Grown ass men, we letting this shit continue. Adolescent feminine ways, why men offend you. Mama boy, she love thugs, her secret lover. That's why she keep these niggas inside the covers. Put the nigga aside, homie, I'm your brother. Close father saving us, having the same mother. Iron sharpens iron, we learning from one another. No jealousy or envy, going through life struggles. You told your mama you was outside, wanted to hang. Now you wearing colors and just joined the gang. No money, so the OGs taught you how to slang. Jackers rolled up and all you heard was bang. On the side of the curb, leaking out your brains. Quiet women sing, single mamas once again. Black men, we gotta change. Salute the black men. We number one if you talking about top 10. I salute the black men. Child support kids don't belong to him. I salute the black men. She lied on you and sent you to the pen. I salute the black men. Dealing with the pressure and oppressor getting lesser, cause we deserve the best of. Coming home from work and life issues, I just want a meal, end up with fights with you. You just need to chill, remember I'm right with you. So fucking masculine, swinging and I ain't hit you. What's your fucking issue? You don't love me, you love what I can get you. Don't let the kids you love being a bitch you. 911 police saying I hit you. I got video footage, you lying bitch you. Why you think we locked up options with you? Making love to the enemy out to get you. That big ass and a smile might convince you. Graveyards that's filled, we on the menu. Penitentiaries packed, men continue to be the simps and she provided the venue. No respect, so black men we've been through. Nigga,
Black fathers are more likely to help their children with their homework, prepare meals, bathe and dress their children compared to fathers of other races. So the absent or deadbeat black father myth that many in America believe is really more like a lie.
The black men, we number one if you talking about top 10. I salute the black men. Child support kids don't belong to him. I salute the black men. She lied on you and sent you to the pen. I salute the black men. Dealing with the pressure and oppressor getting lesser, cause we deserve the best. So salute the black men. We number one if you talking about top 10. I salute the black men. Child support kids don't belong to him. I salute the black men. She lied on you and sent you to the pen. I salute the black men. Dealing with the pressure and oppressor getting lesser, cause we deserve the best of.
Salute the black men.
I salute.
Salute the black men.
I salute.
Salute the black men.
I salute.
Salute the black men.
Salute.
Black men, I want to salute.
Fuck your friend.
I like that. Salute the black man.
Now, I'm just gonna let you know. See your light tonight on the super chat. So what we gonna do is we gonna bring back something else. Hallelujah! Somebody type church organ in the chat room. Somebody type praise Moses in the chat room. I'm gonna need 9 more super chats before I come back, and then I'm gonna open up the doors and let you all come in. Hallelujah! Pay me for my time.
click your mouse pad. Yeah, we out back. Hit the like, hit subscribe. Don't just hate watch, cause we outside. Let them hate watch, go and play pop. We just lay back. He don't play that. We on playback. We on playback. We go way back. Black men, yeah, we earn something. Tune in, gotta learn something. Uncle D podcast bump it. Likes up, hit the sub button. Black men, yeah, we earn something. Tune in, gotta learn something. Uncle D podcast bump it. Likes up, hit the sub button. This is Dennis Spurling podcast. Don't just hate watch, hit subscribe and let them know we outside. Don't hold hate, donate. Super chat, cash app. Put something in the collection plate. Church.
I want y'all to make sure y'all hit the number 1 button. And we're going to kind of get back to what we like to do over here, man. I need y'all to check in at a certain point when it's time to check in. I need to checking in to start happening again. We got to go ahead and get this algorithm pumping. All right. Big shout out to everybody who contributed to the Cash App and the Super Chat. I'm going to take the opportunity to thank them. But before I do, I want you guys to make sure you guys go over to DennisSpurlingMerch.com. I have 1 t-shirt for sale, and it says it's greater later. You guys, shout out to everybody who's already purchased a t-shirt. Please go over to www.DennisSpurlingMerch.com and get your It's Greater Later t-shirt. I sure would appreciate that. Thank you so much, folks. Hey, big shout out to my guys, Glow Hardy. He said, hit Uncle D Cash App, Cash Dennis Spurling, pay this black man, Hall of Fame lawyer. Yeah, man, shout out to me. A lot has happened since I kind of start broadcasting from the backyard, man. But big shout out to you, man. Thank you so much, bro. Who else do I have up in here? I want to give a big shout out to Electric Agitator. Man, all my guys who've been here, y'all still here. Big shout out to you, bro. Thank you so much. He said the gospel. Amen. Amen. Who else we got in here? Rock One, not gonna carry that burden. No, brother, don't carry that burden. When they start talking about black men and what we are or aren't doing, and you make sure you give them those percentages that I broke down for you. They need to hear that. Okay, don't let them just continually pick on us and make up these lies that aren't true. Man, it's just not true, and it's time for us to begin to dispel those lies. You understand me? Somebody type no more lying in the chat room. Who else we got up in here? My man Mark, the freelancer. Big shout out to you. Super sticker. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate it. Timothy Humphrey, thank you for the super sticker. My man Too Tall with the 199 super sticker. Thank you so much. Matt Newland, thank you so much for the 499. And big shout out to Zay Story Show. Big shout out to you. Salute to black men in the service. Yes, definitely salute to the black men in the service. Thank you so much. All that we've gone through as black men, and we are still overrepresented in the military, man. Big shout out to you guys for your patriotism. Also, let me see, my man Minnesota County Unsolved Crime Channel. Hood listening to you. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Big shout out to you, bro, man. Thanks. I like that, man. Thank you so much, man. Who else we got? Mercer Panama. Thank you. $4 for the $4 super sticker. And Urban Eagle, one of my old school fellas, has been here for a minute. And also thank you again. Let me see here. International Quiet Storm. Support the Hall of Fame attorney and support Black Male Media. Thank you so much, man. I'm the best and brightest that you have, baby. I mean, y'all know y'all don't like me all the time, maybe, but that's fine. I speak the truth and I speak on your behalf. So shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to my man, Barry Little. Thank you so much for the collection plate. How about them thumbnails? Don't y'all like the thumbnails, man? That AI is something else. Big shout out to Mark, the freelancer, for the $10 super sticker. My man, Beautiful Lies, El Guapo. Somebody type El Guapo in the chat room. And also Joe Hen, big shout out to you, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I haven't done this in a while. We got some more that came in late. Jerome Payne, thank you so much. That brings us up to What does that bring us up to? That brings us up to 17 super stickers. Yeah, we used to be rolling up in here, man. We get like 20, 30 super stickers, super chats. I guess not tonight anyway. But if you guys want to come in, man, I'm gonna go ahead and open up the link and we could talk briefly about this. I'm not gonna have everybody come in here, but man, if you want to join the conversation, make sure you cam up. We can talk for a minute about these stats, you know, and if it's anything else related or quasi-related you want to talk about, we can do that. You see what I mean? The link is in the chat room. Big shout out to El Guapo who came through earlier. The link is in the chat room. You fellas want to come in and chop it up with the Blizzard King, the notorious Uncle D, the Blizzard King. Y'all welcome to come in, man. The link is in the chat room, but you got to come in quick. I ain't gonna be out here all night playing with y'all. Okay, I got things to do. Hallelujah. I got other things I need to be taking care of, man. I think this is a good broadcast, though. Any of my older fellas want to come in, guys who've been here since last year? This is a good topic, I believe. Man, I'm starting. Oh, I forgot to give a shout out to my Cash App people. Hold on a minute. You know, Uncle D got to always give a shout out to the Cash App folks, man. Hold on a minute. Let's see here. Let me see. Okay, I won't read your real name, but if you got so shout out to from the contractor. Thank you for the $5, Mr. Mulkey. Thank you for that dub. I appreciate you, Mr. Mosley. Thank you. After Hours Locksmith, thank you for that $5. Scarlett, thank you, Mr. Scarlett. Thank you for that. Mr. Booker, thank you so much, man. And you guys got to help me pay for these videos. I had to pay Big Bass Life for these music videos that he coming up with, okay? So y'all need to help pay. The brother ain't working for free. You understand me? Now, I'll let you know, I'm just saying, you got to help out, okay? So make sure you contribute to the super chat. We got to make sure we pay Big Bass Life, okay, for his work and his time. You understand what I'm talking about? So y'all make sure the man comes up with some brilliant videos. And so y'all make sure y'all do that, man. But the link is open if you guys want to come in. I see one of my favorites from back in the day. Big shout out to Cody Marshall. Brother, how you doing, man? What are your thoughts on this conversation, man? What's happening with you?
Well, been all right, man. Taking, doing other things and trying to get as much multiple streams of income as possible. But man. I'm kind of down there. One day I'm gonna get there. It's gonna happen.
Bro, if you got a roof over your head, I see you got the nice fixtures back there. You doing all right. You just don't realize it. You comparing yourself to people on the internet. You over there on Instagram looking at what them Instagrammers are doing. And I'm trying to tell you that you're doing fine. You see what I mean? Just keep that in mind. If you start comparing yourself to the rest of what's going on in the world, you will realize just how well you're doing. You see what I mean? But for the most part, and that's the thing, man, we as black men, we got to start fighting against these lying, I say MFers, but really I just mean these lying, the society that lies on us. You're doing fine, brother. I mean, of course, we can always get a few more chips and a few more dollars, but don't be so hard on yourself, man. What else, bro? What else? What are your thoughts on the stats, though, as far as me breaking down the stats on what actually is the 187 rate? You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's not 12% of the population committing 51%. It's a tiny, minute group in that 12%, i.e. 6.9%, shout out to my man Glow Hardy, committing these 187s. You see what I mean? Let me go ahead and skip the Glow Hardy. Man, look, bro, good to have you here, brother. What are your thoughts on the stat? I know you can pick that. You can take what I said, you can go to those links, you can pull it, and you can really lay it out for some people. What are your thoughts on that, man? Go ahead.
So I definitely think that statistics need to be more involved in the conversation when we're talking about Black success, because anything that we can identify in reality should be discussed, because that's pretty much the facts of what's going on currently. The statistics make sense. You know, for us to minimize, we should be minimizing the amount of people that represent the worst parts of Black people. We should be minimizing that. That should be a thing. We need to continue. We need to continuously rework the narrative, because the narrative has completely shifted over time. Completely shifted.
Now, I want you guys to understand. Let's put this in context, okay? If 17% of Black people, really 17.1% of Black people, live below the poverty line, okay, what does that mean? That means, you know,
83%.
83% of people live above, Black people live above the poverty line.
At or above, yes.
So what are they talking about?
I mean, not at, above, you're right.
Yeah, so what are they talking about when they say we are poor people? So why is it that the ghetto class, the hood rat class, the Pooky and RayRay class seem to have the loudest say so of what is and what is not Black culture? Why not that 83% of Black people? Why shouldn't they have a say so as to what is Blackness or defining Black? Because as it is right now, Black culture is synonymous with ghetto culture. Black culture is synonymous with 187 culture, degenerate culture. And in reality, the statistics don't bear out. Here's the other thing, and I'm gonna hit y'all with this two-piece. Black men, or should I say, Black masculinity is associated with the tough guy that's willing to commit 187. But the truth is, that's only a small percentage of the impoverished, under the poverty line Black men. Why should we let them have a say so over the vast majority? If only 1 out of 10 Black men is even likely to commit these sort of crimes, why is it that we let the other 9 of us let them punk us? Go ahead, the floor is open. Let's hear it, Cody.
I said, well, because they're so used to the traumas ongoing, you know, that's in the neighborhood. So that's when they start speaking up. But the only thing I don't like is when we speak up, they have a problem with it. They're saying, well, who's this guy? He sounds white. He ain't sounding white. You mean he's sounding proper? Or he's sounding more educated? Or you have a problem with that guy because he has his composure, he keeps his composure or her composure? And it don't make sense to me.
Well, it makes sense if you understand that the people who are the degenerates who want to do dirt, they don't want the good people to separate themselves from them because they use you as cover. Keep that in mind, all right? Glow Hardy, what are your thoughts on this subject, man?
It's marketable, it's familiar, and it's calculated. So when you consider the fact that the 90s pretty much had, I think that's the most identifiable impact on American culture was 90s rap and R&B. And so when you make that synonymous with the biggest parts, or like when you make that synonymous with the people that live in poverty, and those people and the people that are living in poverty are the figureheads of those things like rap and R&B, because they pretty much represented what the large majority was at that time, and they got to the top. But now it's a tired narrative. So people, what they're not catching on to, that it's not as marketable anymore to be salacious and rude and just out of pocket, really. People, they haven't really caught on to the fact that nobody in mass wants to continue buying. There's always going to be a market for it, but nobody in mass wants to completely keep on buying into that. Like, we tired. It's like, all right, now it's getting to the fact that like now everybody, we're getting to the point where we can be seen as individuals, but those people that don't want us to be seen as individuals keep on pulling strings to make sure that we don't get seen as individuals anymore.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. If you want to join the conversation, come on in.
Do that
Welcome back to the broadcast. I got some guys on the bullpen waiting. If you'd like to schedule a one-on-one conference with me, man, just hit me up at spurlingdennis@gmail.com. Some people want to talk about hiding money from their wives. Some people want a heads up of what they need to expect when they go into the DR Columbia. I've done all that. You understand me? I've even had people coming to me for consultations on school. I had a young fella who had an issue at his professional school, and I helped him work his way out of that. All sorts of stuff, even to help inform people, helping them learn how to form the LLC. So if you'd like to do a consultation with me, hit me up at spurlingdennis@gmail.com. The other thing is, I need you all to go. I need you to go over here and get my one t-shirt. All right, I got one t-shirt for sale. All right, the one t-shirt is the Dennis Spurling merch shirt, exclusive. And it says the thing that you guys know me the best for saying, and that is, it's greater later. So you guys make sure you go over there, you get the It's Greater Later t-shirt, man. Y'all check it out. I'm gonna actually put it up for you. It's a real simple t-shirt. It don't need to say a lot. You see what I mean? It's right there. Here it is, right there. You see it? Do you see It's Greater Later? Go get it. We got small, medium, extra large, extra husky. It's only $24.99. Go get the It's Greater Later t-shirt. All you got to do is go to DennisSpurlingMerch.com and check that out, man. So y'all make sure y'all support Uncle D with that. But in the meantime, let's get these fellas back in for this last round. Shout out to my man Glow Hardy and Cody Marshall. Man, it's amazing, fellas, how and you guys, I'd like 3 more super chats. If we can get 3 more super chats, that'll bring me to 20. And that'll justify what I'm doing out here. Otherwise, I'm gonna head to the backyard again, and y'all gonna get dusty, Uncle D. Okay, that's what y'all gonna get, dusty, sweaty, buddy in the background chasing lizards. That's what you're gonna get. But anyway, man, fellas, I mean, here's the thing, man. How do you think? And this is just a general question. How do you think this Black YouTube, these male-oriented spaces, this media, how do you think it's helped affect, either good or bad, the stereotypes about Black men? What do you think? I mean, I'm just generally speaking, if you got all these Black men who are articulate, well-spoken, who are on here talking about different issues, they can't say we don't have an opinion anymore, in my opinion. So we'll start with you, Glow Hardy. What are your thoughts? How has Black male media on YouTube affected the conversation as far as Black men dispelling the stereotypes? Go.
It's more closely, it's impacted our power. Like we have much more power than we had before. Like we always had a lot of power, but there's much more power in our voices now. They, like, for instance, they're not considering the Black male vote in conjunction with the Black female vote. That's like one big thing. So that's one positive thing. The negative thing that I want to speak towards is like, the negative thing that I want to speak towards is when these red pill spaces go too far, just like how they scrutinize us for the smallest part of us, they still look for a reason to stereotype us for being angry, regardless of the fact that we have legitimate reasons for being angry, and to be legitimately to legitimately have a certain degree of anger. It's not like you're just getting slapped on the wrist. It gets worse. Like you know what I'm saying? Like when you think about how layered society has been against the Black man, you know, to the point where it affected him being able to have a productive relationship with his woman and therefore his children. You know, it really puts into perspective why people will be angry, because you're literally impacting people on a generational level, and Black men specifically on a generational level. And you know, it's kind of like you're keeping them from being the best that they can be, because they're not able to build these families and these traditional infrastructures that are
So that's a very insightful perception. Cody Marshall, how has the Black manosphere empowered Black men as far as fighting against the lies? What are your thoughts?
Well, you know, he Glo Hori really took some words out of my mouth because I wanted to say those points, but those are magnificent points. But anyway, it's like, for us black men, we starting to get tired of being like the bad guy, painted as this big bad wolf that will huff and puff and blow the house down. We starting to wake up. The middle class black men are starting to finally speak up, and the people who are doing well and not bothering no one, they go to work, go home, kiss their wives goodnight. You know, they're tired of it. They're tired of being painted as this big bad wolf, like everyone to eat all the pigs. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's gotten to the point where now we have a voice to stand up. You know, and now they see that we have a voice, and they're trying their very best to stop it from happening, but it's too late. The seed is already planted and it's growing everywhere now. You can ride that lawnmower and chop it down. All it's gonna do is spread all over the place.
Yeah, that's a good point, man. I think that the Black Manosphere has provided black men with a voice that we didn't have. I think that it has given rise to a lot of talented people who've emerged. Other voices that would otherwise be stymied by mass media are now able to speak directly to an audience. We saw the phenomenon of former president, and more likely than not, future president Donald Trump using Twitter to speak unfiltered directly to the masses. And I believe that helped drive public opinion. And it is what caused for him to get elected the first time. What we see happening now, even in the social arena, as far as dating and marriage, because of the rise of black male media, because of the rise of what they call the manosphere and male media, we've changed the narrative associated with relationships. Now what you see happening is the political climate is beginning to change, and the source of that change is this black male media. And I'm gonna talk about that more this week. I may go back to the backyard since y'all won't even give me another 2 super chats. I'm gonna go back to the yards and give y'all a Dusty review. That's somebody type Dusty review in the chat room.
Y'all hit the super chat. Y'all hit the super
back in the backyard. Like, look, buddy, look, bring your ass over here, buddy. Anyway, no, but yeah, man, because this you know, sitting here is cool. I enjoy doing it, but sometimes just freestyling from the backyard is a lot less stressful, and I don't have to interact with folk. I could just sit in my backyard and chill. But bottom line is, man, black men fighting against these lying people, generally these lies, is a long time coming. Big shout out to my man Black Wall Street. I ain't seen him in a minute. But anyway, and it's necessary. I don't think it's that I think we've been tired of this. You see what I mean? I think they just gave us the microphone back around 2014 when we really started getting into this YouTube thing. I think that's what happened. You see? And then once that happened, I need one more super chat and I have 20. Somebody make sure you give me one more super chat so I can get to 20. Big shout out to my man Arrowhead. I ain't seen my man in a minute. For the brothers, thank you so much. I've been gone for they've been out there trying to get that paper, man. But like what I was saying, I think we've been upset, but nobody would give us the microphone. And so technology allowed for us to finally get the microphone, and now they have to hear us. And you hear them complaining. They're complaining like little old women trying to climb up 3 flights of stairs with some groceries. There, y'all ain't picking on that. Yeah. Black man, how dare you vote for Trump? Shut up. Shut your ass up. Oh, this goddamn. We've been listening to you all this damn time. Shut your ass up. You goddamn fly overseas. Just shut your ass up. Shut up. But they gotta hear us now, man. They gotta hear us, baby. But look, man, I'm not gonna believe the point, man. Shout out to everybody. I don't care if you didn't give any super chats. That's cool, man. I appreciate y'all. I'll catch you on the rebound. Uncle D is doing well for himself. I appreciate you guys who did. I appreciate everybody who came through, my fellas. I can always count. I love you, brothers, man. Like I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. And the one thing that I've learned about this grouping that we have, I got a special set of subscribers. Like my guys are not like everybody else. And the reason is because there's nothing flamboyant going on about me. I'm not a handsome man, okay? Even though my fiance tells me I'm handsome, I got 98% men that follow my channel. And the reason that you guys follow my channel is because my intentions are pure. I'll let you know. I am 100% an advocate for Black men, period. Whether right, wrong, or whatever, I am 100% on your side. The most I will do is shut up if it's something like, damn, what did they say he did? God damn, I can't, let me just be quiet. But anytime I would defend Chris Brown, Bobby Brown, who else? Who name them all? P. Diddy. I jump on here because I'm an advocate for Black men, period. And I do that for my own self-interest. Number one, because I'm a Black man. And I have 3 sons who are Black men. So it behooves me, somebody type behoove, for you all who got good spelling skills, somebody type behoove in the chat room. It behooves me to protect the image of Black men. You see, I'm not an advocate for Black people. I'm not an advocate for dogs, astronauts, engineers, environmentalists, pumpkins, pumpkin patches, polka dots, or pig feet. I'm an advocate for Black men. You see what I mean? And my intentions are pure, period. You see, this is what I'm trying to explain, y'all. That's why you all follow me. Because you recognize that our interests are aligned. Even if our political interests differ, I'm not gonna let them beat you up. Because see, there was a time back when I was defending Black men's right to vote for Donald Trump before it was popular. Many of y'all remember that. They were still calling you the COON word around here. But I'm like, no, vote your interests. Matter of fact, I said, I voted my interests. I'm voted for because I ain't trying to pay all these taxes. And I provided you a buffer zone. I provided you an avenue so you could speak. This is what I do. And that is what separates my page from everybody else. It's not entertainment, even though, I'd be cracking jokes sometimes and whatnot. At the end of the day, I am still a Hall of Fame attorney who is highly educated, who has decided that it is in my best interest to advocate on behalf of Black men. Why? Because there is no community without Black men. There is no Black community without Black men. You can empower women as good as their intentions may be. You can give them all the jobs you want them to get, but if you do not have the backbone and the structure necessary to build a community, the manpower, and that is Black men, you have nothing. And I realized that many years ago. Shout out to my beautiful Ivy Dreams, my wonderful sorority lady. Shout out to you, Miss AKA. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for bringing me over to 20. Good. See that? Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. It took a lady to bring. Look at that. That's sad. So that's what I'm going back to the Dusty Review. I'll catch y'all another day, okay? I'm going to catch y'all another day. I'll be in the back. But somebody, where's Buddy at? Get these N-words up out of here, baby. I'm just kidding. No,
they broke.
Nah, it's all good, man. I just give y'all. I know y'all got money. You see all them damn statistics I just put up there. I know you got some money. If I was one of them YouTube girls on here that squish their breasts together and say, yeah, I love, now y'all be paying me. I see what you do. I watch y'all on them other screens. Them girls with them look, they got them breasts squished together. Them 10 years ago, they was talking about you, disrespecting you in the club. You ain't got no money, you ain't right. And now, all they got to do is hop on YouTube and y'all giving them all your money. I'm watching you. I got eyes though. I don't say nothing. I ain't watching. That's because y'all see at the end of the day, y'all be like, red pill this, red pill that. And then as soon as a Black woman come over there and say, and you be like, yeah, that's right. That she show is right. She understands that. See, that's what I know what I'm dealing with. Y'all queen, mother goddess, simp chips get reactivated every time they come in with them brown breath squished together. You know what I'm saying? Weave and all, baby mamas and all. I know who I'm dealing with. I know just who I'm dealing with. Big shout out to my man Black Wall Street. That's one of my favorites too, man. But anyway, man, I gotta go. God bless y'all. Love y'all. Big shout out to my man Glow Hardy. Big shout out to Cody Marshall. Big shout out to Big Bass Life. Y'all make sure y'all check these videos out. Other than that, man, like I always said this time, man, this is Uncle D, and I am out.
Dennis Spurling Podcast. Hit the like button, subscribe.